Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the H-Town Spin. I am your host, John Floyd. And sitting alongside me, I have Mario Almanza, my partner in crime, and my very, very special guest, Mr. Jeff Taplin. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just.
Do you realize how long I've been trying to get you on this show?
It's been a hot minute. But I'm excited. I'm stoked. I've been wanting to do this. I'm very stoked about this.
I appreciate so much the posting that you've done. And just showing love to the H-Town Spin. I appreciate that.
I
haven't really gotten that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you know what? Definitely, I appreciate that.
No, I'm all about that. So,
I appreciate that. Mario, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing okay, man. Glad to be here again.
You know what? Family. That's family right there. This is the second time in like a month that you've actually co-hosted with me, so I really, really appreciate you taking time out of your day to do that.
And I see you guys have some drinks in front of you right now, and I know I said I didn't want any, but now that I've seen you guys, I'm like,
we got wine, we got vodka. I don't know. We have wine. I don't know.
You got an hour.
Oh yeah, I'm drinking vodka. Yeah, definitely.
We got a little time right now, so we'll ease into it.
So if you guys no, it's relatively hot outside still. We're still in September? Like it gets hot, and it stays hot in Houston until like mid-October, like late October.
It is trying to be cooler a little bit.
A little bit. It wasn't so bad today, but that gets me into my rant, guys. I have a quick 2-minute, maybe 3-minute rant.
Lay it on.
And
Jeff, do it.
Jeff, I'm sure you can relate to this. So, for those who've never seen me, and there are a few, I am a beautiful Hungarian Creole mix, which is like the most beautiful mix ever. Like, seriously. And so for like the last year and a half, I've been letting my hair grow because I wanted to do like the man bun thing like I got right now, right? I don't wear my hair in a bun 7 days a week because it's typically not, it's not something that they recommend that you do, right? You got to let your hair grow, and you got to let it breathe and stuff like that. But I let it down maybe 3-4 days a week, right? And the thing that really, really, really pisses me off is the fact that when I let it down and I'm getting dressed for work because I do have a secular job, and I comb it and I brush it and everything, and it looks amazingly beautiful. By the time I leave my house and get to my job, my hair looks like I've been rolling around in some fucking hay. Like it's all over my head. And it takes me about a good 10, 15 minutes to brush, and it's all tangled and shit like that. And I can truly understand and empathize with women and why women wear their hair up. I'm guessing that's one of the reasons. I don't know. Maybe some women just like to wear their hair in a ponytail. I hate my hair being down. I like it when it's up because I don't have to deal with all the humidity and the entanglements. Oh my God, did I just say entanglements?
Entanglements.
The entanglements of my hair, right? So, talking to you, Jeff, I've always told you that I love your fro.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
it.
I love the fro too, but
and you've come to me on the numerous times and said, it's too hot. It's too fucking hot for the fro. I got to put the braids back in. So I can relate.
Texas
to that.
humidity, man, kills it. Nah,
I understand that, but that's just something that's like really pissed me off because like I feel just better when my hair is up. I don't know. It's. I know I'm strange. I'm sorry, guys. It's one of those things, but that's my rant. Like seriously, I just really understand women and why they wear their hair up now.
I'm sure they appreciate that from you right now.
You know what? I've talked to a few that's like, you know what? They're so thoughtful.
Yeah, he feels their struggle.
I do. I feel the struggle.
I feel like I can connect with him so much.
I know, on such a deeper level.
Hey, it's a gift. It's a gift. People relate. So, Mario, what's going on with you? Everything good with you? I haven't seen you in... 2-3 weeks since we had Omar on the last time?
Has it been that long? Yeah, I guess it's been a couple of weeks.
We had a hurricane, or thought we were going to have a hurricane.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm good. I just recently met up with I think I did tell you that I'm doing cinematography DP work. Met up with the director and a couple of producers for a movie that they hired me to shoot. And, you know, we got together. They gave me the script probably a few months ago. But they sent it to me in an email. And, you know, obviously I told them that I would read it right away. I read like the first page, which on the phone it's even less than an actual page. And so I started trying to read a lot of it on the day of that I was going to meet them, so that I could at least have something to talk to them about. Because one of the main reasons that we were meeting up is so that, you know, we can kind of, you know, I wanted to get an idea of, you know, did they have a storyboard already, you know, a shot list, you know, kind of drawn out or anything, just so that I got an idea of how they wanted the movie to be. So, but once we got there, they actually had a script for me, like printed out, and, you know, I felt official. And I've only worked on a few films, but this one I feel is kind of like one of the biggest ones so far. And
is there a title?
It is okay. So there's two titles. I think there's two working titles right now. I think it's Biggest Fan and I'm Your Biggest Fan. It's basically it revolves around the what's this thing? The OnlyFans page. Yeah, and it's kind of a suspense thriller. There's a little bit of, you know, horror in there, just a little. But so far, I did read about a third of it, and it sounds really exciting. So that's something that I'm working on here. In October, we're going to start shooting.
Wow. Okay.
So it's going to be a busy October for me.
Nice,
Mr. Jeff, do you have an OnlyFans?
No, but I'm a fan of OnlyFans.
Right?
Like, yeah, I mean,
you got the voice. You got the microphone voice, bro. It's like, dude, all you need is like an OnlyFans page now.
No, but I'm camera shy. I mean, I'm camera shy. As people know, I'm like, I hate taking pictures and stuff. I'd rather be in the background and let everybody else take pictures and stuff like that. I'm a low-key guy.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So that's a great segue into having you on the show, because I can tell you personally, as well as from talking to Mario and producer Joel, I've been stoked to have you on this show, because we've had guests on before that have done things in fashion and stuff like that, but it's been a part of what they do.
Yeah.
You being on here, you are your own walking, breathing, talking brand, right? So this is all you do.
Yes.
So before we get into that, I just want to give an introduction to the audience of who you are. Guys, I've been trying to get this man on this show for a while. Known him probably, 10 years?
Yeah, it's probably about 10 years, maybe a little bit more.
Maybe more than that, yeah. We met really, really awkwardly. I mean, we both laugh about it now, but we met awkwardly. We were at an event in the city of Houston, and I think I was promoting the event.
Yeah.
And I was walking through the club, the bar, or wherever we were, and whatever you want to call it. And I saw him at the bar, and he had a couple of his models with him.
Yeah.
And he was literally just rocking that Lenny Kravitz vibe. Like, seriously, he had the fro, he had the shades, he had, like, I mean, guys, if you look at Lenny Kravitz with the afro, that's Jeff Taplin. Like, seriously. Maybe Lenny might be a tone lighter. Just a little bit.
Yeah, he's shorter too. Yeah.
And but dude, this guy, like, literally with the afro and everything, looks like Lenny Kravitz. So that's how we met. And, you know, I was like, I don't mean to be awkward or forward or anything, but has anybody ever told you that you kind of you got that Lenny Kravitz vibe? And he just laughed at me and said, man, all the time, like that. And from that awkward experience, we've been friends for like 10 years.
Exactly.
It's just crazy. And so when they found out that I was doing a podcast, he graciously accepted, you know, when I sent out the invite to him and stuff like that. So I am pleased to have the founder and designer of Sophisticated Bitch and King Dick, which honestly, that right there, if you guys like Google that, right?
It's like, if you knew nothing else, that'd be enough.
Yeah, exactly. The amazing Mr. Jeff Taplin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. I mean, you know, like you said, we go back 10 years, and when you reached out to me, I was nothing but stoked to do this.
Awesome.
Like I was all about it, all about it. So
And
I'm
you know,
happy to be here.
we've had conversations offline,
Yeah.
you know, about branding and stuff like that, you know, and you've given me a lot of encouragement offline and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I want to thank you for that first and foremost. But I want the audience, including myself, to, I guess the first thing I want to ask about is how you started. Like what, you know, where were you? What made you get into designing?
Well, I have a degree in fashion design. So, I mean, that was always, it was funny when I was senior in high school, I was like, man, do I want to go to school for civil engineering or do I want to go to school for fashion design? I know those are totally two different things. And I had already, you know, looked at civil engineering. Colorado State's a very good civil engineering school. And then I was like, I saw all the math involved and I was like, okay, fashion. Fashion's my calling and stuff.
Right.
So, fashion, it was the thing that I gravitated to. Like my senior year, I started like buying like clothes and putting outfits together and stuff. But it really wasn't all that until like I went to college, graduated college, came back, and my girlfriend at the time, we would travel like a lot, and we went to New Orleans. We went for the Jazz Fest.
Okay.
And we saw this skirt, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get you this skirt. And she's like, no, I want you to make it. Granted, like I hadn't sewn in a while because I was mostly in sales and fashion and stuff, doing, you know, merchandising and stuff like that, fashion displays. And so I started, you know, making her stuff, and it just took off from there. She would wear the stuff and, like, just blow it up. People were like, oh, where'd you get that? I love that and stuff like that. And so it just snowballed from there. It just, people just gravitated to it and stuff like that. So it's been an amazing journey so far. And so it's just, that's how it started. It's because and that's how I market. By putting it on my girlfriend and putting her out in public, that was, you know, confirmation to other people. They were like, oh man, she's wearing it, so it must be fly.
You made that. You made that.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah. Instead of just like putting it on, you know, Facebook or putting it on Instagram or snapping it, you know, people could actually see it. And so even now when I advertise and stuff like that, I tell the models, I say, hey, if you're going out to a club, to the bar, on a date,
wear my
to the
shit.
Movies, to the grocery store, just wear my shit.
Yeah,
you know, wear it.
Yeah.
You know, and so people, they tend to, you know, gravitate towards that than just like seeing an advertisement and stuff like that.
Walking advertisement.
Exactly. And, you know, word of mouth advertisement is way more, you know, better than any advertisement you can do because you're going to trust your friend. Like, if I tell them, it's like, oh, man, you know, I was on H-Town Spin, they're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. Instead of just seeing the advertisement for H-Town Spin.
Right.
And so that's always been my thing. It's like advertise, you know, by word of mouth and actually putting the clothes out there physically.
Right.
And stuff. So yeah, that's how I started.
Man, that's crazy. It's crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
It's you know, that that you actually started making clothes, you know, for your girlfriend or your girlfriend at that time and stuff like that. So transitioning into, and I'm assuming that was like, how many years ago was that?
Ooh, man, that was 2002, 2003. Okay. No, 2001, 2002. The brand started in 2003. Like officially started, Sophisticated Bitch King started in 2003.
So when because I know for a while you had only women's. Like you like King Dick came later.
Later, yeah.
So what was the thought process on the name for Sophisticated Bitch?
Sophisticated Bitch. Sophisticated Bitch came from, I was a big Public Enemy fan. Like Public Enemy is like one of my all-time favorite rap groups and stuff. And they came out with a song called Sophisticated Bitch. And so I absolutely loved it. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, it described like, to me, my brand and what I thought women were. Women were, at times they want to be sophisticated. And then at times they want to be a bitch. And not in a negative tone, they wanted to just be edgy.
Right.
And so the clothing represents that. Like I have dressy stuff, which represents the sophisticated bitch side. I mean, sophisticated side. And then I have edgier stuff that represents the bitch side. And as guys know that women, they can flip a script on you at any time and become sophisticated, or they can become a bitch.
Right.
And my ex-girlfriend was the epitome of that. And I named it after her because I was like, I'm like, what would I call my brand? What would I call my brand? And we would go out. I'll go out with my girlfriend. She'd be all lovey-dovey. We get home, and all of a sudden she flipped the script. I'm like, where the hell did this come from?
Right.
I'm like, okay. So then I thought about it. And so that was the epitome, impetus for sophisticated bitch. King Dick, I was just reading a magazine, and I always wanted to do men's clothing. I got into fashion to do men's clothing because women can wear anything. They can wear our clothing. So I got into to do men's clothing, but it's more lucrative to do women's clothing because women are always buying stuff constantly 24/7.
Accessories.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was looking at this magazine, and there was this model in a bikini, but she had this big ass wrench, and on the wrench it said King Dick, and I was like, what the hell? And it just snapped. I was like, King Dick. That's the name of my men's brand and stuff. And it wasn't about like me being King Dick or anything like that. It's just like I love the name and stuff like that. But I mean, everybody reads the name and they have their own thoughts of like what King Dick is and stuff like that. So
I just had something just clicked. Okay, with that name. So watching YouTube videos, I used to watch this guy named Timothy DeLaGhetto, and I feel like at the end of his, he was either selling something or he was promoting something, and it sounded like he would say King Dick.
Yeah,
is that the same thing, or am
no?
I associating with?
Because actually, the King Dick is a UK tool brand. Like they make tools. That's what that big ass wrench was. It was a big tool it's a King Dick brand that it's called King Dick, and they make big tools and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I don't know where they came up with the name King Dick. I don't know how they related it to that. It's got to be a UK thing.
Right.
But for me, it just
the British people have a weird sense of humor.
Exactly. They name stuff like their cigarettes are called fags and stuff like. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just weird.
I mean, guys, that honestly, out of all the companies out there, Sophisticated Bitch and King Dick has got to be like
just that combo alone.
Just the name,
again,
guys.
Yeah,
like, dude,
it forces you to pay attention.
Yeah,
it does.
That's what I wanted to do.
It definitely catches your eye.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do because I mean, I wanted people to notice the name first because I wanted them to look at the clothing. They were like, "Oh, Sophisticated Bitch, King Dick. What is that?"
Right.
So it draws them in, and then with me, it's always been about quality over quantity. Like I wanted to do it with my photo shoots, fashion shows, the clothing in general. I wanted them to be about quality. So I know the name will come across as abrasive and out in your in your face, but then when you look at it, you look at my photo shoots, you look at what I do, you're like, okay, wow, he does quality work.
Right.
Like I want you to look at the photo shoots and you're like, man, I could see that in Elle or Cosmopolitan magazines like that. I didn't want you to look at it and be like, oh, okay, that looks like a sophisticated bitch. No, I wanted you to look at it, and then I grab you and get you in. Because, at the time I started, everybody and their mom was like starting a clothing brand,
Right.
Especially back, when I did it, like all the rappers were starting, clothing brands and stuff like that. And then so I just wanted to stand out and be totally like different.
Right.
And stuff. So that's always been my motto. It's just like, to do quality work, but I'm a small brand, but I want to think. You always have to think of yourself as like a Gucci, a Tom Ford, a Louis Vuitton. You have to think of like what would they do? How would they present themselves? A Target, a Walmart. You have to think of like how would they present themselves? To the public.
Right.
So you have to think. If you're small, but still think big and carry yourself big.
Right.
And I think that's how I've always gotten, respect from people and stuff like that is because like they see the brand and they see what I do and they know it's about quality work and and even the models I get are always, they're like, okay, we got to live up to how he wants to present his brand and stuff like that. So it's always been my focus, always been the focus from day one.
I'm about the only person here besides you that has been to your fashion shows.
No, that's not true. I've actually been
Have
to
you?
a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've been packed. They like literally his fashion shows are like fucking sold out. Like seriously,
You know,
it's crazy.
I've heard your name all over the place, and
Yeah.
this is actually the first time I've met you. I think one of the first ones that I went to, I used to do photos for the industry,
Yeah.
the bars and clubs and all that. And I remember going back to kind of what we were saying earlier, the Lenny Kravitz thing. I never knew what you looked like. I just knew that I saw a few photos, and with the fro, the glasses. So I, to this day, have always compared you. You've been one and the same. You've been Lenny Kravitz to me. So
To me too. I'm telling you.
And I never knew what you actually looked like.
Yeah.
I always saw glasses. I always saw just this ensemble.
Yeah.
So now that I get to see it, it's like, okay, all right, he's not Lenny Kravitz. I mean, he's got a little vibe.
But he's
there
got the
about it.
vibe going.
Yeah.
He's got the Lenny vibe.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But I did see you at a couple of the shows, and I never talked to you. I saw someone. I was like, okay, yeah, that looks like. I mean, I was probably one step away from what he did and walk up to you and say,
Hey, I
nah.
will tell you like it is. Like So Jeff, now that you're established, and we've covered like how you got started, what were your inspirations? Like, from a designing standpoint, like who inspired you, or did anybody?
Oh yeah. When I was in college, Giorgio Armani was like my favorite designer, because he always designed classic pieces that you could wear year in and year out. From the time he started to now, you could still pull out some of his pieces and they would be relevant today.
Right.
So that was always my thing. And so then as going forward, then Roberto Cavalli, the earlier 2000s, Roberto Cavalli, he did some of the sexiest, dresses in my mind ever. And so I would try to emulate like the designs he did. A lot of my dresses, that's what I was all about. Was long, sexy cutout dresses, either deep plunging in the front, deep plunging in the back, cutouts showing the hips. That was my thing. Like, I loved it to death. And my market at the time was basically Houston, but I was in San Francisco and I was in LA. But trying to market long dresses to the Houston market, no, not happening. Girls don't want to go to the club in long dresses and stuff. They want to show legs, skin, short dresses and stuff like that. But I stayed the course because I always do what I want to do. I always design what I want to design. I don't design for the public or anything like that. I design for me and my clients and stuff like that. And they've come to know me. They love my dresses. They love my rock and roll swimsuits. That is like, Roberto Cavalli was like, and then Tom Ford, when he was at Gucci, Tom Ford at Gucci, like he changed. Gucci was on his last leg, and then Tom Ford came in and brought the sexiness to it. Yeah. And like Tom Ford at Gucci was just like
I'm a fan of Tom Ford.
Tom Ford does.
Tom Ford. Yeah. Tom Ford, I think is the top designer right now. Like honestly, I mean, I got you here, and you're a great designer for Houston and stuff like that. But globally, I'm looking at. I'm like,
I agree with
Tom
you.
Ford.
I love Tom Ford to death. Yeah, and one of his.
I just like his suits.
One of his mottos that I've always, one of his quotes that I always love by. He's like, he said, I'm a commercial designer, as opposed to a fantasy designer. And what he meant by that was, okay, everybody's gone to fashion shows, and they look at fashion shows, and it's like, where would you wear that to? Like, it looks amazing, but what would you wear that for? And so that's a fantasy designer. They design for the runway,
like the stuff you see on Zoolander.
Yeah, exactly. But Tom was like, no, I'm a commercial designer. I design to sell clothing and actually for women to actually wear the clothing, and that's me. Like, I design for it actually to be worn out in public
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I said, Houston, it's always been a challenge since I've been here because girls are always like, where would I wear that to? Where would I wear that to? You know, and that's why I always tell my models, hey, just wear that out. And anytime they wear it out, they stand out because girls are like, wow, where did you get that from? Or, you know, that looks, I could never wear that. Why couldn't you wear that?
Right.
I mean, just because we're in Houston don't mean you have to play by Houston's rules and
Right.
stuff like that, wear flip-flops and shorts everywhere you go.
Right.
And stuff like that. Or look like your girlfriend where you see 3 other girls have the same exact outfit on, maybe in different colors and stuff like that.
Right.
That's always irked me about the Houston fashion crowd and stuff like that. But I know where we're at, so you have to.
So what do you think of Houston as a fashion? Because, you know, you have Omar Marcos who
Yeah.
does Runway Houston and stuff like that. We're nowhere near a hub
Yeah.
of fashion and stuff like that. Do you think Houston is on the uptrend in fashion? I mean, do you see it? You know, I know you go out probably more than I do now. But when I was a promoter and stuff like that, I used to be dressed to the nines, and the people I used to work with didn't dress like me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I kind of stood out
Yeah,
a little
exactly,
bit.
exactly.
Aside from me being awkward as well. But
Now, did you do that year round? Because I find, like, for me, I dress best during what we call our winter.
I could not wear a 3-piece fitted suit during the summer.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait until like October,
I know
November,
a lot of guys
December.
do.
Or something.
A lot of people that are just they're
Yeah,
very
I-
fashion
yeah.
forward.
'Cause
They're like, no, I'm gonna
I can't
do it.
be-
I'm gonna.
I can't deal with the funk.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I'm a creature of comfort, and you know, I dress for the weather.
Right.
I feel comfortable, and even though I know sometimes it's like, man, I'd really like to layer up, and I really like to wear it, but it's like, man, it's going to be hot. It's going to be
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I'm not going to have a good time if I do that. That's kind of where my thought process is at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. It's like during the middle of summer, I'm like, guys, you ain't getting me in a suit, but I'm gonna be dressed impeccable.
Yeah, yeah.
Without a suit.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna make the rest of the other promoters look like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they're gonna be like, damn, that dude's stylish or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Even though I'm awkward. So, what do you think, Jeff, about Houston on the fashion scene? Are we behind?
We're always behind. Yeah, we're always behind. And
I mean,
partly-
because I believe in being fashion forward.
Yeah.
I believe in wearing. Me personally, I
Yeah.
believe in wearing stuff that people normally wouldn't wear.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're in the minority, especially here in Houston. I mean, we have some people here that, you know,
That mindset.
yeah, that mindset that don't care. They have that LA mindset. They have that New York mindset. They have that, you know, Miami mindset where it's like, I'm going to rock what I want to rock, which has always been my thing. You know, I hate looking cookie cutter and I hate looking like everyone else.
Right.
You know, but then again, I do hate people who try to look different just to look different. I want you to look different because it's comfortable to you. Like what I rock is comfortable to me.
Right.
It couldn't be comfortable on the next person. And I think that's why I get accepted as far as like I could pull off the Lenny Kravitz look or I could pull off the look I have now because I'm comfortable in rocking what I have on.
Right.
And stuff. If I walked out the house, I'm like, I don't know if but I'm going to wear it because it's different. No, that's where people people feel that vibe from you. Like, okay, he's just rocking it just to rock that. Or she's just wearing it just to wear that and stuff. But if you're wearing it and you're wearing it with an attitude and confidence,
Right.
then it translates. That's why, like, even when I do fashion shows or photo shoots, I always match the girl to the outfit to the photo shoot because I want them to feel as comfortable as possible because that's going to translate. People are going to like look at her when she's walking down the runway. It's like, oh, she's loving what she's in. Because 9 times out of 10, like usually I let the models pick what they want to wear and stuff. Because if they love something that they're in, then they're going to rock it even more
Right.
and stuff. So I mean, and that translates to people. They like, oh, she don't look like she won't even be wearing
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah.
And I hate that as a person in fashion. I hate looking at them like, okay, she looks like a robot or she looks uncomfortable. She's just modeling just to model and stuff. No, if she actually loves what she's in, then people are like, oh, okay, I want to rock that. Or I love her in that. I
Right.
couldn't wear it, but I love her in that.
Right.
And stuff. So yeah, Houston on the whole, I mean, we've always been behind the 8 ball on that because of our climate and then fashion people don't look at us as a hub to like, okay, let's, because even when I was in the industry, Gap or Money Exchange or whatever, they wouldn't send like a lot of clothing here because they knew people wouldn't buy it or wear it and stuff like that.
Right.
It's just not.
It's like sending jackets to Jamaica.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a place where it's really hot. Like,
exactly.
I'm not going to sell here. I mean, yeah, there might be a few people that might want to buy it because they'll go on vacation. And, I totally could use that, but yeah, I can imagine the numbers are
definitely
really low.
Definitely.
Hey, guys, so far we've had a really great, interesting conversation. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss more with Jeff Taplin.
Bet.
Thank you again for tuning in to the H-Town Spin. I am your host, John Floyd, along with my partner in crime, Mario Almanza. And we're speaking with our very special guest, Mr. Jeffrey Taplin, founder and designer of Sophisticated Bitch, King Dick.
Yes, sir.
Get that name, guys.
Yes, sir.
And we basically just been talking with Jeff on the last segment about his influences and actually how he started and where the name Sophisticated Bitch, King Dick came from. So now we're going to go into a little more in depth, and we're going to talk about, we talked about his inspirations and the people that inspired him. So when we left off, we were talking about how the fashion scene in Houston is not really up to par to, like, say, New York, LA, San Francisco, Tokyo.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Do you see that changing anywhere in the future? Or, I mean, because I know we're subtropical.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to wear, like our just for you guys who don't know, our summers last until like maybe Halloween, honestly. And then we only have like maybe 2 months of
exactly.
Cooler weather. It's not, we don't get snow down here, like, or anything like that. So
we get a little more cool than that.
But it doesn't last like 6 months or 3 months or anything like that.
It doesn't last a solid like November, December. It's not like every day. But I mean, I feel like our winter, our cold season is late November all the way even up to like almost April. That's April you start feeling you know what?
Because usually in March, we still get those cold days and stuff.
Still a little nippy, right?
Yeah.
But it's not cold enough like it would be like in New York or Tokyo, because it snows in Tokyo, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we don't get that. So when I think of winter, I'm from Chicago. So when I think of winter, I'm thinking
Chicago.
I'm thinking 10, 12 feet snow drifts.
Yeah, but that's the extreme. That's
right. But like down here, it's like this is like a spring day.
I remember as a kid that Halloween would always be cold.
Yeah.
And now
it's still like that. Like it gets cold right around. It starts getting chilly right around October.
I don't know, man.
The
last 5 years, it felt okay, but I remember as a kid, and I'm not talking about like elementary school. I'm talking about like high school. I remember going around the neighborhood with my friends, and on 2 separate occasions, us doing dumb shit, running around. I fell into one of those water holes, like like where they check your meter.
Oh, yeah.
And the water was freezing. I remember that's how cold it was. And then there was another year where, same thing. I think a buddy of mine, he did it, and he was like shin deep in ice water. So I do remember the time where, October, we were getting freezing weather.
Yeah.
But now that's
not anymore.
I mean, it'll happen once every 10 years or something like that. So with us being in a subtropical climate, do you think that the fashion sense in Houston will ever change? Or
actually, I'm gonna throw myself in here because I was listening to I'm the producer of the show, and I was listening earlier, and I felt like there's some questions that I wanted to ask because, I'm listening to the guys, and I'm like, oh, they're not asking the questions that I want to ask. So, so I'm like on the second half of the show. I want to like kind of throw it in here and ask some questions. You know, as far as Houston is concerned, you know, as someone who works in food service and everything else, Sunday brunch is Houston. It's like I've never lived in a city where Sunday brunch is taken as seriously as Houston.
Yes.
Houston Sunday brunch is the shit.
Yes, it is.
New York Sunday brunch, LA Sunday brunch. Y'all don't have nothing on Sunday brunch in Houston.
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
I have
if
also,
you go to West Hollywood, West Hollywood is a whole different story.
That's West Hollywood, and as a gay man myself, I kind of understand that. But when it comes to Sunday brunch in Houston, it is taken very seriously here.
Yeah, it is.
And I love the fashions that walk in on Sunday brunch. Sunday brunch. So like I said, in a subtropical, we are a subtropical climate. But I've noticed that, you know, between New York and Chicago, LA, when it comes to their fashion sense, they have a fashion for them that seems to spread to the rest of the country.
Correct.
Do you think that designers here could follow in that trend too and make Houston that kind of thing where fashion here can suddenly become a nationwide thing?
Or I could translate to like Miami or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's the part of it is the climate, but part of it is
climate and culture. Because
culture.
We're still in Texas.
It's more culture than climate. With more people moving to Texas from LA, from New York, and stuff like that, the culture is gradually changing and stuff like that. Where it's like in LA and New York, it's like all the time. It's like I gotta look on point like all the time. Like I want to express myself all the time. Here, Sunday brunch. Everybody's like, oh, you know, I want to go to Sunday brunch, so I gotta look good for Sunday brunch and stuff like that. You know, so we get that one day where everybody's like, okay, I'm gonna look, you know, on point for Sunday brunch. And so, I mean, as you know, people, you know, more cultural influences come here and stuff. People who want to be about the arts, people who want to be about, you know, the fashion. I think it'll change then. Here, to me, it's always been about, Houston is like all about oil money. Right. And you know who has oil money? You know, the older people and stuff like that. They spend money on fashion, but they spend money on like the conservative fashion and stuff like that. So they're always going to get, you know, the press in every magazine or on TV or whatever like that here, which is not really a reflective of like our generation or even the younger generation of what they're wearing now out in the streets and stuff. And that's what I've always tried to bring across. It's like what people are wearing out in the streets. So it doesn't necessarily like people like pick up on it because like, okay, that's what they're wearing in the streets. It's not what they're wearing. Like I see, you know, Dominique Sasha talk to people about, or even 002 magazine, or, you know, the other, you know, magazines talk about, you know, the Houston magazines talk about here. Right. So, I mean, I think that is, you know, part of it. It's like, it's the changing of the culture here. And like I said, I agree with him totally. Like, you know, I used to go out when, you know, brunch, you know, it used to be on point. Right. I mean, more on point. Like, they would just like, it would just be like a turn up. Right. And stuff. I mean, now, I mean, it's still, but like, it used to be spots like in Montrose and stuff. Right. That were like West Hollywood. That would just be turning up.
I can think of a spot in Montrose, La Strada.
In the 80s,
La Strada. Exactly, La Strada.
In late 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. You know, as far as Sunday brunch culture was in Houston, it was mostly a gay thing. Yes. And there was nothing like, and especially, and by the way, especially black gay men. Black gay men. Always came to slay. Every Sunday brunch. Every Sunday brunch. And working in food service, I'm like, oh, girl, where'd you get that? Oh, girl, I love that. Girl, those shoes are amazing. Blah, 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 blah. So to see it translate to suddenly from the mid-2000s till now. To watch straight culture also and start to embrace it, the idea of when I'm going out for Sunday brunch and mimosas, The girls are getting dressed up. The men are getting dressed up. We're not walking in shorts and a T-shirt anymore.
No, not anymore. No, no.
No, Sunday brunch is a thing. It is the one day in Houston where we can just like. It used to be the after church crowd.
Yes.
You come in with your suit and all this other stuff, but no, it's not that anymore.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. It's like they could have went out and partied all night on Saturday,
but they come in dressed on Sunday.
And I've been woken up like, oh, we're going to brunch, right? And I'm like, do you know how many shots we just did last night? I'm like, I'm done. No, we're going out. And I'm like, all right, and they be like, okay, I'm wearing some of your stuff, and I already know I got to be on point. But the girls are like, no, we got to look good. We're going to Sunday brunch. They're getting a table, the carafes, the mimosas are coming, and it's just on point. And that's been a Houston staple. I mean, like it started, like you said, it started with the gay men in Montrose, but it's just like spread like all over. I mean, I see memes about it and stuff like that, about Sunday brunch and stuff. So
because I always felt like in Houston, it started with Sunday brunch started with gay men, and then next thing you know, black women suddenly are coming in to Sunday brunch, and they are dressed to the nines, and then everybody after that. If you come in to Sunday brunch, you need to be dressed to the nines. Exactly. You need to be coming in with that attitude. I'm at Sunday brunch, that kind of thing. So Sunday brunch has changed from over the last 20 to 25 years in Houston.
Very much.
And so I wanted to ask the question because we've become more culturally diverse. We're one of the most diverse cities in the country now. We're even more diverse than New York, which is amazing. Are we, as a fashion designer, are you starting to see? Are you starting to get more ideas from different cultures that are now coming into the city with the clothes they're wearing and trying to incorporate that into mainstream fashion?
That's always been like my goal. Like everybody's always asked me, like, why haven't you moved out to New York or why haven't you moved to LA and stuff like that? And I always wanted to be here in Houston because I always thought we were like on the precipice of being a cultural fashion, destination. Right. And like you said, as more cultures come in, I get influenced by that, and my fashion has become, more accepted. Like at one point, your sophisticated bitch is like, okay, where would I wear that here in Houston? Now, more people have come in from outside and they see it and they like, okay, cool, I can wear that. My clothes don't stand out as much because more cultural people have moved to Houston, and we become more and more and more and more diverse. And that diversity voice has become even louder and stronger. So I mean, all that definitely influences my design and stuff like that. I always wanted to make the Houston fashion scene what the LA fashion scene was, the New York fashion scene was, and stuff like that. I always wanted me to be like it wouldn't be strange for them to see the clothing worn here and stuff. So that's always been my goal. And I mean, Houston's gonna. I mean, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take more people moving here and more of the culture.
To kind of change the culture.
Yeah, more of the culture. Having a voice instead of just the stodgy, cookie cutter, having their voice. If they start, letting, even the TikTok culture in, just letting them have a voice here and doing what they do, it would change it, and open up the city so much more.
Because the wonderful thing is that especially in Houston, we're starting to see more. Amazingly enough, we're starting to see more Russian cultures, more Asian cultures, African cultures of all kinds. Yes. Of all kinds in the way they dress and everything else. So we're starting to see more and more of their influence starting to happen here in Houston. So I'm hoping that designers in Houston start to pick up on that more. Yeah. And when they start to design clothes for Houstonians and for the rest of the world, basically, that they start to take a little bit here and here and here and throw it into to design, and make Houston a fashion place.
We talked about the weather a lot as kind of a hindrance for here, and the more that we talk about it, I realize that technically, like there's a time and place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with with what you wear. You can wear booty shorts at the beach, or during the summertime, or when in the wintertime. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I can wear these scarves.
Mm-hmm.
We really can wear a variety of things here. Like, for instance, if a designer, if you wanted to have a line, say you were inspired by something specific, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do a line for summer, spring, fall, all that. And yeah, some of it's going to be warm, some of it's going to be heavy, some of it's going to be very, very light. You can, I think the people from here can still take advantage of that and say, no, having that mentality of, no, I can't wear that because I'm in Houston. Like, no, you can.
Yeah.
You just can't do it all year.
Yeah.
You can do it, in seasons. You can do it, again, there's a time and place for everything, and it still doesn't mean that it can't make a place in your closet or your wardrobe.
Well, I'd like to think that summer. I like to think that the summer months in Houston are probably the blandest months when it comes to fashion, because we're all trying to keep cool and comfortable.
Yeah.
But from, say, September all the way up until
March.
No, I'm going to say April.
I'd say April too.
I'd say April, all the way up to April. That's when fashion in Houston really starts to explode.
Yeah,
I agree.
And you can wear something. You can wear. Oh my God. I'm a sweaters. I love my sweaters. I love my scarves. I love my slacks and my fancy shoes in the wintertime. But, the beautiful thing is that even if it gets down to like a mild 65 degrees, I can feel like, oh my God, I can wear my long sleeves and do that kind of thing. I can have more fun with fashion than I can do with the summer. In the summer, just give me a pair of shorts and a T-shirt and I'm fine.
Well, you can see I don't care. I'm in a suede jacket right now, and I don't care because I always like to dress like what I'm feeling and stuff, and I'm feeling my ensemble right now.
Which honestly, I think as a fashion person, is there any truth to 90%? How you wear it and 10% what you wear.
Exactly. Like I was saying earlier, it's all about the attitude. I could, if I put any one of y'all in this outfit, if you don't feel comfortable, it's not going to come across.
It's more confidence.
Yeah, it's more
confidence. If you don't have the confidence to wear it, it's not going to look good.
It's not going to look good at all.
And people are going to notice.
Yeah.
People will notice. If you don't have the confidence to wear something, people are going to notice.
And it's immediately too. Once you walk in and people see, they like, okay, he's not feeling comfortable in his outfit and stuff like that. So that's an immediate turn off. People are going to turn against what you have on. They're like, But if you're feeling your outfit, even if they know they can't wear that outfit, but if they feel like, oh man, he's rocking that outfit, they're going to be like, man, yeah, he's rocking that outfit and stuff. I couldn't wear those boots, but no, but you look good. And I mean, it's plenty of times.
I'm glad you said that, because me being partially European, I wear a lot of European clothing. So, like, the pants I'm wearing now are cropped. I'm a huge fan of cropped plaid pants. I love them. I'm not wearing plaid pants today, but I am wearing cropped. And sometimes I get looks when I'm out, and I love it. I feed off of that.
Yeah.
Because whether they're looking at me, whether they're saying that shit looks stupid, or, you know what, I like that look or whatever, I have the confidence that when I put them on, I'm like, and I look in the mirror, I'm like, I know I look good. So I'm like, I don't give
as
a
long
fuck.
as long as you enjoy it.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
The thing that I feed off of is people looking.
Yeah.
Like, when they look at my outfit, whether they like it or not, it's like that gives me energy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're looking. So obviously, there's something about my outfit that is inspiring you or making you look. And that's where I am, but that's part of my heritage.
Yeah.
I love European style. There's only one store that I know of in Houston that has the European style look that I'm looking for, and I'm not going to mention that because Mario over here laughing at my ass.
I was going to say something else, but
nothing makes me nothing made me understand fashion better than the fact that I used to, when I would see someone walk in an outfit, and I'm like, my God, they look fantastic.
Yeah.
I want the same damn thing, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as I put it on, and I'm like,
no,
this is not going to,
Yeah.
I don't have the
Because
confidence.
it doesn't work
to
for everybody.
yeah, it doesn't work for everyone. No,
I don't have the confidence to wear this outfit. And I'm like
Like
well,
Jeff-
why did I love it when I saw it on another
person. Yeah,
But as soon as I put it on, I went, no,
No,
this is not
not
going to
me.
work. It's just not
So
gonna,
let me just say, Jeff Taplin, if I was wearing your outfit, I could not rock it.
Well,
I mean-
so it's suede, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
it looks like it's a very thin suede. So
Yeah, it's a very thin suede,
Yeah,
and
it's
actually,
okay.
I got this jacket. One of my friends, he gave me this jacket. I guess it was his dad's or something like that from back in the day. And so he's like, man, he said, I know you would like this. So he gave me this jacket, and it's been sitting in my closet. And I was like, what am I? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear it today. You know, I'm gonna rock this jacket
I
today.
could do the hat.
Yeah.
I could pull off the hat.
Yeah.
But I can't pull off the leopard print boots. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But
those are snakeskin boots, aren't they?
Yeah.
well,
And they
I-
go
Yeah,
with
the
snake
snake,
skin.
the snake skin.
I can't do
I have
snake-
some leopard skin, but you know.
But I
those
can't.
are
I can't
snakeskin
do.
boots.
Yeah, but see that look.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's like that look equates to who you are. Like your,
Yeah.
the attitude, the confidence, and stuff like that. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was funny. It's like I posted this outfit, and I posted another outfit and stuff like that. And this girl hit me up on Facebook. She said, "I bet you get so much pussy." And I'm like, "Really? Why would you think?" She's like, "Just your style in general." I'm like that. I'm like, I wish I got more. I'm like, okay, I mean,
Right.
but I'm glad you're feeling the
I
outfit
don't-
and stuff like that.
I don't think you have a problem with that. I honestly do not think
Now,
that you have a problem with that.
I wish I got more. I'm like,
I will tell you.
You always think that you want more, but I think you get just enough.
I think you do fine.
Yeah, you don't want
Just-
more. Yeah,
you
you
don't
don't
want
want
more.
more.
You want just. I will say this. I love his brown suede jacket, and I'm thinking if I were to wear that jacket, it would be like a red T-shirt underneath,
Yeah.
and a pair of very dark jeans, not boots, but I like funky tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Not like the traditional Jordans or anything else, but funky, unusual tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And maybe a small hat. Because I used to be a hat. I used to
Yeah.
love wearing hats when I was younger. I loved wearing hats, and I'm not talking about baseball caps. I had fedoras,
Yeah.
I remember.
and
I remember.
bowlers, and
Yeah.
all this other stuff. And I stopped wearing them when I got older, and I'm like, I'm watching older men now starting to put those hats back on, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I can wear a hat again.
Yeah.
I can wear a hat again. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to having more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, the hat is an extension of the afro. Like I couldn't rock the afro like all the time, and especially in this humidity and stuff. So I was like, what is just as much of a statement piece as the afro?
Right.
Than a wide brim hat.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
the wide brim hat has replaced my afro up until when it starts getting cool, and then the afro will come back.
Which in Houston sun is
Yeah.
actually quite practical.
Yes,
it really is
exactly,
quite practical because
exactly.
it keeps that sun right off of you. So
Yep.
So let me ask you, Jeff. So Houston, L.A., San Francisco. Who or what city is easier to design for?
LA.
L.A.
LA.
Why?
Because they're just more of my style. Especially like going back when I was talking about the long flowy dresses and stuff like that. The rock and roll type vibe that I like to do with the swimsuits and stuff. That they are more kin to what I design. I mean, I used to be carried in New York, but New York really wasn't my type of scene. Miami, LA, San Francisco, Austin, more my type of scene because
So-
they're more the open hippie rocker vibe type.
So what's the difference between San Francisco style and L.A. style?
LA,
Is there a definitive?
yeah, LA is more rocker. San Francisco is open. San Francisco is more open, but LA is more rocker vibe to me. But San Francisco is definitely right on the precipice of
Is
that.
San Francisco like a? Are they a conservative or are they just more?
No,
I know you said. I know you said
San
open.
Francisco was conservative.
Yeah, I know. I just about to say, I'm like, because I didn't want to say it. I'm like,
I'm not saying.
Right
I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Just think of West Hollywood and San Francisco all around.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, I'm not saying it like that. I'm
Yeah.
not saying like conservative, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, so L.A. is more rockerish.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So San Francisco's not rockerish, or is it more?
More flamboyant.
Man, flamboyant.
Yeah,
Okay.
more flamboyant.
Okay.
And
that's what I was meaning to get to.
No,
Like,
yeah. They're both fashion forward, but they're fashion forward on kind of two different senses. Like LA is more Hollywood rocker vibe, and then San Francisco is more flamboyant, open to like you can rock whatever and stuff.
Okay.
I mean,
I would have figured that for LA because Hollywood's there and the industry is there and the need to stand out more in LA is there.
That's what I would think.
That it would be easier to like anyone that wants to go over there, and you can make anything you want.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a market there for it because there's going to be people there looking and be like, okay, what? Oh, look, this guy over here or this woman over here is doing this thing, and it doesn't look like everyone else's, but it looks a little different. But you know what? We're in LA, and it's almost like an excuse to justify that. Yeah, you know what? I will wear this thing that kind of looks like a trash bag, or maybe the opposite. Maybe something that doesn't look that crazy.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe LA does have a bigger playground, so to speak, to be able to give them and be like, I think that I can do things more here.
Yeah.
That I feel I'm gonna get more feedback here. I'm gonna get more. Then, you mentioned Austin. You mentioned San Francisco. I don't know.
So what's the lure? What's the lure with Austin? Like, I know what the lure is, but like fashionably, what is the lure with Austin?
Hippies.
But I think I want to lead into that too because I would like to know when it comes to fashion. Let's talk Houston, Austin, and Dallas. How do we see what
Houston's probably more cutting head, right?
What do we see the differences?
Than Dallas and Austin.
No, Dallas is Dallas is far ahead of us.
Really?
Well, Dallas is Dallas is also another fashion hub, and it has been for for
the
a
Paramount
long time.
is in Dallas and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Dallas has always been way ahead of Houston and stuff.
Always way ahead of Houston for about the last 40 or 50 years.
People,
See,
that's why there's
I'm
this thing between Dallas and Houston because people look at Dallas as they're snobby and stuff, and Houston is like we're down to earth. That's why it's always been that battle between both of them and everything. And then Austin has been like the hippie stepchild, the cool stepchild because Austin to me is like a little mini San Francisco as far as like topography and everything like that. Austin is just more open. Like I love Austin to death. Like I go to Austin like all the time. It's just people there are like more open to like when you go, it's just more comfortable and stuff like that. Houston, you have like people that tend to be judgy here and stuff. As much as diversity we have, Houston tends to be judgy and stuff. And then I will agree, Dallas is very stuck up. They think they're like the end all or be all and shit, and that's why I don't.
Well,
I'm not
you know what? They kind of earned that title, and
they did.
They worked hard to earn that title. So I don't have no problems with that. But like I said, I feel like that. Let me tell you something. I love Austin. I've loved Austin for quite some time.
Yes.
But I'm going to be honest, over the last 10 or 15 years, when it comes to Austin, I've been a little bit disappointed. I feel like Austin's become a little bland, and it's not the way it used to be.
Yeah. I'm not very impressed with Austin.
I feel like Austin's become kind of bland. So I feel like that.
Well, shit sucks. shit sucks.
So I feel like that Houston.
Southwest last year.
I feel like that Houston might be a little bit more open to new ideas and change, and that, like I said, because we have so much cultural diversity here, that Houston is actually more open to change and diversity than say Austin or Dallas. I think Dallas is stuck in trying to be New York or LA.
No, I agree with that.
I think Austin, in maybe 15, 20 years ago, it was hippie culture and, everybody just being themselves and that kind of thing. It kind of gave way to, I want to live in downtown Austin in a super expensive loft in downtown Austin, and I'm trying to be cool, but I'm not really that cool.
Well, I think that's what happens when like you're on the up and coming.
Yeah.
then everybody wants to like, oh, I want to be where the up and coming is, and then it changes the whole culture of that. So I agree with you totally. And so that's like when I go to Austin, like I hang out at the spots that have been there forever. And so, like the dive bars, the restaurants and stuff like that. I'm not all about the new stuff. Like I've never been about the new stuff. The new stuff to me attracts, these people that just like, I want to be seen for right now, and then they want to move on to something else and stuff like that. That's never been my thing. And so, no, I agree with you totally.
And like I said, I just don't think that Austin, compared to Dallas or Houston, is as culturally diverse as they used to be.
Yeah.
So they tend to get stuck in one trend. When a trend happens in Austin, it happens for a little bit, and then they move on to the next trend. Whereas Dallas and Austin have a little bit more, Dallas and Houston have a little bit more wiggle room to experiment and kind of do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, so based on Houston and how we are fashionably, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm a very harsh critic of Houston fashion.
Oh, man.
And the reason why is because when I was in the club business, and I would come to the club dressed to the nine, the people that I work with look like shit. Honestly, they look like shit. Yeah. Like they would wear like graphic tees and blue jeans, and they would go and say, "Well, I'm the promoter" and stuff like that. And then I would come along and I look like I fucking owned the club. Yeah, right. I mean, I was dressed to the fucking nine, right? So one of the reasons why I got out was because I was like, you know what? I'm just not feeling the fashion vibe in Houston. I mean, of course, I was getting older and stuff like that, and I didn't want to be a promoter at a certain age and stuff like that. So I was like, well, let me just get out now and stuff like that. But while I was doing it, I, like, literally, people would walk up to me and like, "Are you the owner?" I'm like, "No, I'm the promoter."
Yeah.
And because I was dressed like the owner.
Yeah.
Right. And it got me.
You know what? Let's.
But it got me to the point. Like, seriously.
But let's move in a little further.
Well,
into
no,
where
but
we are now,
hold on. So I'm asking. So, with Houston being where we are fashionably, is there a city in this country that resembles or that's comparable to where Houston is, like fashionably? Or is Houston just on its own little island by itself? Like, I mean, do we compare it to Miami? Do we compare it to, I mean... Welcome back to the H-Town Spin. This is your host, John Floyd. And I am with my very special guest, owner and founder, designer of Sophisticated Bitch and King Dick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's say that again. Sophisticated Bitch, King Dick.
Can I say the King Dick part?
The King Dick.
Let me say the King. You say Sophisticated Bitch and I'll say King Dick.
Sophisticated Bitch.
King Dick.
I love
Founder
it. I love it.
And designer.
I love it. I love it.
The amazing Mr. Jeffrey Taplin. Thank you so much again.
Man, I'm having fun.
For joining us today on my little podcast called the H-Town Spin.
Whatever.
So
it's good. It's good. I'm loving it.
But you know what? I do love the fact that you have been very, very instrumental with the messaging that you've given me offline.
Yeah.
About branding and stuff like that. Like for those of you who are just tuning in, Mr. Taplin is his own brand. He's a walking, breathing, living brand, right? Sophisticated Bitch King Dick is his brand. It's his name. It's his. It's pretty much everything that he encompasses in his life. That is his brand. And so our conversations off brand, I'm not going to go into it, but off the record, he's given me so much support and so much advice and stuff like that.
Definitely.
That I really honestly can't thank you enough for that. So for that, I'm very humbled and thank you for that.
Like you said, we go back a long ways, and just supporting me back then and me supporting you now. It's just
is paying it forward. I guess.
Exactly.
And you know, but I think looking at the broad spectrum of the world, I think that's what needs to happen more.
Mm-hmm.
I think people need to respect and support people.
Correct.
You know, vice versa.
Correct.
You know, to make the world a better place. You know, I met you awkwardly. I'm not going to go into details of how I met you awkwardly. If you missed that, I'm sorry. You can go back and when we edit it, and you can check out the whole show and you can. See.
I hope we have that part because you really need to.
I
hope you have it.
Let's hope we have that part.
I think you had that in the first part of the show where you were talking about being awkward but fashionable.
I know exactly.
I'm like, you're awkward. I'm awkward. But I'm fashionable.
Awkward. I love plaid. I love man buns.
Hey. Self-deprecating humor, guys.
Ooh, man, yeah.
Self-deprecating humor. Okay?
Hey, it makes you relatable. Hey, yeah.
Exactly.
People feel that.
I'm not afraid to make fun of myself.
No.
Okay? I think I look pretty stylish for who I am. I mean, I'm
you
51.
wanted to say your age, didn't you?
I know he did.
He wanted to, but he changed his mind.
He's like, "Now I'm not gonna put that out there like that."
I'm not gonna put it out there.
I'm 51. I'm 51.
Okay.
And I have highlights, so it's all good.
I'm 51 with highlights.
I'm
Look at that.
with highlights. I'm good.
I'm just letting you know. But getting back to where we were before we had to take a commercial break.
Yeah.
Did you forget, John?
I think
He did.
We got Western Sun vodka and some wine.
No, hold on. I didn't forget. I just want to go back and make sure that I have everything under,
Okay.
where we are.
Okay.
So we were talking about, in the early part, we were talking about is there another city in the country that resembles Houston regarding fashion? Because, Houston is a unique weather climate. We have...
It's a microcosm. It's a unique...
We have very extreme summers, but we also have somewhat of a winter.
Yeah.
But then we have, everything in between. And, Jeff was saying that there's really not a city in the country that compares to what we have in Houston because... most of the cities don't have what we have. They don't have the weather.
Well, he kind of hinted at Miami, but we don't have beaches. So, I mean, if we had beaches that weren't 55 miles away,
exactly.
But Miami's not as hot as Houston.
I'll fix it.
Miami's not as hot as Houston. So. For those of you who don't know, Houston is 95 during summer temperature with a 98-degree humidity, which makes it almost fucking unbearable to even be in the fucking city. So to ask a designer if there's another city in the country that's even remotely comparable to where we are, I thought that was a good question. There's probably not. There's probably not. But we also talked about how what the differences is between Houston, San Francisco, LA regarding fashion. We touched on that. But the question that I was posing to Jeff before we were cut off or before we had to take a commercial was if you go to his Facebook, which is either Sophisticated Bitch or King Dick, or his Instagram, which is where all of his designs are, there's a noticeable design where it's either a low cut in the front or low cut in the back, or it shows leg. And so I was asking him where his inspiration for that came from.
Well, I mean, my inspiration, I just love the female anatomy, period. You know, that is my inspiration. Like, I love women being women and just looking sexy and just being the most, you know, attractive creatures on earth. I mean, they command presence when they come in the room. So I try to design for that. You know, and me, like I said earlier in the conversation, we were talking about how Armani was like my, you know, I love Armani. He designs classic pieces, and then Roberto Cavalli, how he designed some of the sexiest dresses, and then touched on Tom Ford as far as that. So, I mean, those are big influences on how I design.
So do your models come to you and say, I want more of this or less of this?
So what happens is, like, I'll design something, and it's one thing to see it sketched out. It's one thing to see it on a mannequin or a body form, but then the ultimate thing is when you see it on the actual model, the actual person.
Right.
So you get to see how it lays, how it fits, how it flows as they walk and they move in it. So, you know, when you're doing that, you know, a lot of my models are like, oh, you know, maybe we should cut it a little bit more here. Maybe we should cut it a little bit more in the back. So maybe I want to show more boob this, or maybe I want to show more that. So, you know, it's collaboration a lot of times, you know, when I design stuff. So I'll design it, and then they'll be like, oh, can I show this? Can I show that? You know, and if it's within what I like and my style, then yeah, I'm definitely, you know, down, you know, to recut it and show more this, more that.
So is there a process to you recutting it? Like, do you have to make another?
No. Usually, you know, that's where alterations come in. Like, you know, you put it on the female form, you put it on the body, and you get to see. So then after, you know, it's like, oh, let's take it up. Make a slit in here. Or let's show more leg or something like that. So then we go back in and we'll pin it. We'll, you know, and cut it and re-sew it and stuff like that. Which doesn't take that much take that much time at all. But I mean, that's part of the design process. Because, I mean, you know, as a designer, you have stuff in your head. You're like, okay, I like this. But then once you put it on somebody, you get to see it. And then it might not work. You're like, But, you know, going back earlier to what I was saying, is like, I like my clothing to be comfortable. I want it to be classic. You know, I want a woman to feel good in it. You know, so I mean, I don't want her to be like, oh, this is not laying right. This is not this. This is not that. So I mean, you know, it's a combination of all things. You know, when you know, I'm not one of those designers that's a dictator that says, oh, this is how it has to be. This is my vision. No, you know. That stuff. You know, we all have our egos when it goes into stuff, but I want, you know, a collaboration, you know, a lot of times on, you know, how, you know, my model feels in the clothing and stuff. I mean, most of the time, like 90% of the time, when I design something, they're like, oh, I love this. This is it. And then, you know, that other 10%, they're like, okay, can we change it? Can we do this? Can we do that? Right. You know, so, you know, it's, you know, most of the time it's 90% of my vision, and then 10%, you know, I take into account of fit, cut, and things of that nature and stuff like that.
I like that because I think that's what a true fashion designer should be doing. Like, I mean, I love your styles.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen them. Maybe Joel hasn't. Maybe Mario hasn't. And maybe most of my audience has not. So I'm eager to get them to view your product.
Yeah.
So if you could do if you could give a listing of where everybody can see your product.
Yeah.
That way, you know, whoever, you know, the people that are listening, they can go and say, oh, you know what? I want to go check out his stuff. So it's like, so how do they find you on Instagram, Facebook?
Instagram.
If you have a Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like any of your.
Yeah, all my media thing, you can go to Instagram. It's Sophisticated Bitch / King Dick, and it'll pop up. You'll see it. And then my other one is just King Dick. Those are both my Instagram posts. Then on Snapchat, same thing. Just go under and look under Sophisticated Bitch.
Okay.
It'll pop up. Facebook, you can look under my name, Jeffrey Taplin. And that'll be my page. And then you can do Sophisticated Bitch, King Dick. I mean, if you just Google it, it'll come up.
Right.
Yeah,
You
Google.
have a website as well, or no?
No website, because like I said, I don't do the website. It's only, I sell to boutiques. And then I focus on, like, if, a customer hits me up, like, oh, I want this, I want that. Because like I said, we try to do everything, keep everything, not mass produced, small volume. Because
That's a good idea.
because I know women, they like, oh, I saw somebody else in my stuff. I'm like, no, I don't want you to. I want you, when you wear it, you only know like maybe 2 or 3 people have it, and stuff like that. And with me, I do it that way. That way, I can charge the price I want to charge for it, and stuff like that. So, go on those. TikTok, same thing. Sophisticated Bitch, King Dick.
So you're on all social media.
I'm on all social media. All social media. I'm not on TikTok doing them dances though, so don't even be looking at me. Don't try. I'm
you
not
have models for that.
Yeah, exactly. I put the models in my clothing, and they do those dances. I'm not. Like I said,
let me say this before you say anything, Joel.
Okay.
Let me say this. If you guys go to the H-Town Spin Facebook page, I've posted some pictures of not only Jeff and but also some of his models, and the models are looking amazing, and they're all in Jeff's wardrobe. So
you mean designs?
I know, right? You like wardrobe? I'm like,
Wardrobe.
you mean designs, man?
Designs,
They in my
wardrobe.
shit. No.
Hey, same thing. But
They in my shit. Damn it.
But they're like the designs are amazing. This man is a creative genius. He's a visionary, and Can I tell you again just how pleased I am to have you on my show?
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy.
I'm happy to be here. Y'all making it a comfortable environment.
I'm happy.
We just
Hey,
chilling.
Just so you guys know, one of the protocols that I talked to producer Joel about.
Okay, producer Joel has some question about fashion.
Hold on, I'm gonna say this.
Joe, like I got questions, man.
Every person that ever comes on the show, I ask if they would like anything to drink.
Yes.
Specifically, I make it like a home away from home type environment.
Yes. We're currently having Western Sun with some
and
yes,
that's where
a Texas vodka,
and I think I messaged Jeff like a month ago, and I was like, hey, so we curse on my show and we drink on my show. Is there any type of drink that you would like? And he gave me his suggestions, and I'm like, okay, I will have all that taken care of for you by the time you come. Thank you so much for doing the show, for agreeing to do the show, and I will have everything taken care of. No. But I'm like, no.
I know, right? Exactly.
No, but I'm just letting.
on his tip.
I'm letting my audience.
I love it.
I'm letting my audience know that I take care of my guests when they come.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And I want them to feel at home when they come.
Well,
okay. Ask away.
Okay, thank you. Speaking of on the tip, let's get into the men's side. We talked about the women's side of fashion. Let's get into the men's side. What are we designing on the men's side? So are we doing jeans? Are we doing slacks? Are we doing jackets?
Mostly what I do for the men's, I do sweatshirts, some t-shirts. I do some leather jackets. I do some blazers. That's basic, because the men's stuff, like I do some men's stuff, but most of the men's stuff I design for myself. I mean, and I rock it myself. And that's only carried in San Francisco. Like I've only designed the men's stuff to be carried in San Francisco.
Okay.
It's not carried in,
So I can't go to a boutique online in San Francisco and find your
the
men's
only
stuff?
the only King Dick stuff you'll find in San Francisco are like the sweatshirts, the t-shirts. I do boy shorts and stuff, and that's mostly for the women stuff.
I like how you said boy shorts. I love that because I was going to say something earlier because I noticed a certain trend.
Yeah.
I noticed a certain trend when it came to like I said, men's bathing shorts got shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Gay men have been rocking the shorter shorts
Forever.
Yeah, and then straight men have suddenly started to rock.
Yep.
The shorter and shorter shorts. And
Exactly.
I'm down for this.
Well,
it's about time. Y'all should be showing it off.
That was the thing. It was tripping me out because we were just talking about TikTok, and like this thing on TikTok now is like if the guys are wearing like the 5-inch shorts. There's like if you're wearing like the long board shorts and stuff. There's like the girls are like, no, that's out. You need to wear the 5-inch shorts and stuff.
Exactly.
It's like if you're wearing the 5-inch shorts, you can be baby daddy. If you're wearing the long shorts, then you're out.
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff like that.
So Jeff, how come? Is there a wider? Obviously, there's more on the women's side than there's men's side. So is there more men's merchandise coming? Is that in development?
No, not really. My bread and butter is women's wear. And really, actually, when I started, how I promote the King Dick brand is putting women in this stuff. Like, women will rock the little boy shorts, they'll rock the sweatshirts, they'll rock the t-shirts and stuff like that because it's sold more. Because, like, when I started doing the King Dick stuff, like, I would wear the King Dick stuff. I would wear like the track jackets, all that stuff out, and more women would come up to me like, "Where did you get that jacket from?" I would love to wear that.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not
really that surprised.
Yeah, and so guys would be like, "Man, I don't think I could wear that." Guys were like too intimidated to wear it. It's like, I don't think I could wear that.
I got to get a pair of the slides.
I got to get you some slides. I got to get you some King Dick
I need
slides.
some white ones.
I want the jacket. Like I said.
Well, the jacket too, but
but
the slides first. The slides
that is a suede jacket, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this brown suede jacket, thinking, you know what? I want a jacket like that. I must have a jacket like that for winter.
You got the tracksuit, right?
Yeah.
You got the King Dick
tracksuit. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
See, that's player.
Yeah.
That's with the fro. I don't.
Okay, are we really?
I don't have a
fro.
fro.
I'm going to start looking at tracksuits as my
seriously.
fashion statement.
No.
I don't want to do that.
No. But if you wear seriously, it's like legit. Like
sweatsuits and tracksuits are like totally in. Yeah, they've been in.
Well, they've been in forever.
They've been in forever. But I mean, because I wear I love the Adidas. Old school Adidas tracksuits and stuff like that, but like Palm Angel do tracksuits and stuff like that. They do some dope ass tracksuits and stuff. Even Valentino does tracksuits.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, tracksuits are just like, especially with this time and era now, everybody just wants to be comfortable and just like rock.
This is weird to say, but tracksuits are kind of classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
They are kind of classic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally wear a tracksuit.
Yep.
Anywhere. Anytime.
Exactly.
But I'm going to be honest.
You could do Sunday brunch in a
tracksuit. I've never liked a tracksuit.
You could do
tracksuit.
You could do Sunday brunch in a tracksuit.
You can, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to.
I don't know. At one point, like I wasn't like that. I used to didn't rock sneakers, didn't rock tennis shoes, didn't rock sweats at all and shit. And then as I gradually, I got older and whatever like that, I love old school shell toe Adidas and stuff.
Yep.
And so I was like, man. And then I started buying. I got like 15 pair of Adidas tracksuits and shit. And
I've seen a couple of them.
in every color and stuff. And then like I would wear them out, and people were just like, "Oh my god, I love those tracksuits and shit." It's like your tracksuit is like dope. I'm like, okay, cool. And so, I mean, and then I got into the sweats and stuff like that. So now, like, I make sophisticated bitch, sweatshirts and stuff, and like just the pants or the King Dick logo sweatshirts and stuff like that. Because it's like you said, they're classic. Everybody wants to wear them. Everybody's rocking them.
Let me reiterate what I said. I said I hate to say it, but they are classic.
Yeah,
tracksuits are. I just every time I tried on a tracksuit, I just went. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't wear a tracksuit.
Yeah, exactly.
I've tried them in fleece. I've
Yeah.
tried them in pleather or whatever it was called, or the vinyl.
Vinyl, yeah.
And every time I would look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I can't wear this. I cannot wear this. How am I the only person on the planet
that can't rock a sweatshirt?
I put on the fancy tennis shoes, I throw a baseball cap
Yeah.
on, and then I look at myself in the mirror going,
like,
I can't wear this. I can't wear I can wear it to the gym.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the gym to work out or what have you. But even then, it's like, I just want to take it off and put on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and go work out because it's like, I just never. Now, by the way, like I said, on the other side of the fence, I do like the men in the sweats. You can go ahead and wear your sweats.
Yeah.
Go ahead and wear your sweats.
You like the men in the gray sweatpants?
I like the men in the gray sweats because men are foolish.
Yeah.
We are foolish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Foolish. We'll put on a pair of gray sweats with no underwear on.
Yep.
Down the street.
Exactly.
And then everybody's like looking at you, and you're like, "What you looking at?" And I'm like, "Your dick is right there." I mean, come on, it's right there. Why did you even bother to put that on? Why did you even bother to put that on?
I know women be like, "Where you going?" I'm going to Walmart. No, you're not. No, I'm going with you because you're not going to be walking around. You're not going to walk away. Your dick's flanging and shit.
Exactly.
And I know what she looking at, and I'm be looking at her. I'm like, I was just trying to look cute, and it's like she's like, you can look cute with me. I'm like, okay, it's good.
Because I know a lot of my women friends would tell their men, "You're not walking out of the house.
Yep,
you're not walking out of the house with that on."
Exactly.
I got too many gay friends out there. They will not look you in the eye the entire time that they're talking to you. Not at all. I'm not fixing to fight with no gay men because you did not wear underwear under your gray sweatpants. So no, you are not leaving the house.
So Jeff.
Yes, sir.
So
we're almost at the end of the episode, by the way.
We are. So I need to ask him about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Spring and summer. Since fashion is a season ahead, and we're already almost in fall.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you have your spring and summer collection going.
No, spring and fall and spring, man.
No, spring.
No, I'm sorry, fall and winter.
You're in fall now. You're pretty much in fall. So you're a season ahead. So
yeah, the way the fashion industry works now, like they just had New York Fashion Week now, and New York Fashion Week is presenting for spring and summer 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just so you know, Joel. So spring and summer of next year is fall and winter.
Okay.
Like they're a season ahead.
Okay. I always get confused by that because I'm like,
exactly.
So I mean, because we're in late September, so we're already pretty much into fall.
Because I know at the beginning of spring and summer, are we doing fall and winter?
Yeah,
doing fall.
Yeah, usually like February. They'll do their fall and winter collections and stuff like that. And then
so you're a season ahead. So by the time you get to fall, you're into spring of next year, of the following year.
When I was younger, and like I said, when I was younger, and some of us at this table kind of old. I was all, my fashion sense. I was all about the turtlenecks.
Yeah.
Cardigans, my long trench coats.
I wear cardigans.
I wear cardigans. Cardigans never go out of style.
Oh yeah, cardigans are in style right now. Yeah.
Never go out.
Yeah, cardigans are. Yeah,
I wear cardigans and long trench coats.
I think cardigans are one of the essential things that men should own. You should own at least one or two cardigans.
I own
in
like
your closet.
He said 5.
And that's fine.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Fine, but every man should have a cardigan in their closet because I'm going to tell you something. A cardigan looks good on every man.
Yeah.
Well, no. Because I have a cardigan that's green. It's a green striped hill figure. And the straps go this way, Jeff. They don't go down.
Yeah.
They go like this way. So I'm really, really at a loss of where it's green and blue.
Yeah.
It's green and blue.
And it's a dark
Classic
green.
colors. Yeah,
It's
classic
dark,
colors.
But it's this color green. It's
Yeah.
like a dark green blue. I mean, it's a dark green. So they go this way. So I'm kind of lost as to what pant I need to wear.
I would go with
that.
Why wouldn't you go with a tan pant? I would go with a tan pant or a dark jean. I think a dark.
Would
jean,
a dark
right?
green? Would a dark jean work?
I think a dark jean.
Yeah, dark jean will work for the fall and winter.
Yeah,
but I mean, even
with,
now,
but with
I
brown
would,
boots, right?
No, I would pair it with some joggers. Pair it with some joggers to kind of give it that comfortable look
But
instead
like-
of your daddy look with the khaki pants
But
and the
what color? But what color joggers? Like a dark blue?
yeah. Try to
or-
match the blue with the blue. Yeah,
With
you
the
know.
jogger, really?
Yeah, I mean, to give it that monochromatic look. You don't have to, or you can go with another color to like kind of like break it up and stuff. But I mean, I would go with a jogger though. A jogger would make it more contemporary right now. You would look comfortable. You look fashionable and stuff like that. You could even go with a capri jogger.
Ooh, a capri would look good.
Yes,
with that.
a capri jogger.
A capri jogger. Would
Yeah,
look really
like
good
just
with
like the
that.
pants you got on now, but a capri jogger.
You
will
make
look.
some capri joggers.
look at
Look at him.
Look at
Look at him.
he put it. Can you make some capri joggers for
Once
your
you get
boy?
the book out
Yeah,
right now,
for your
right
boy.
now, yeah.
I'm just, I'll buy them. I mean,
Yeah, but yeah, I think that instead of giving it that classic, you could break it up and just it would be even more comfortable looking. I mean, because like I said, cardigans are in. They never go out of style.
What about with a long short though? Could you wear it with a long short? Long pair of shorts?
well, I think that would defeat the purpose, right? Because you're wearing
Well, I mean,
you're wearing a.
but yeah, we're talking about Houston weather where it could at 72
Well,
degrees. I think it might
like
be okay.
like we were talking about the TikTok thing here. Go with a shorter short.
a shorter short.
Go with a
really?
shorter short. Go with a shorter short. And I think it would look good and stuff like that. I mean, definitely a shorter short, like the 5-inch short, the 5.5-inch shorts with the cardigan and stuff. We're in Houston, so you can get away with it.
Get away with
yeah,
it.
you can get away with it and stuff like
Let me
that.
ask you this real quick fashion question for all those people. 'Cause I already know the answer.
Yeah.
Because
Can
we
you
almost about
wear?
to end this.
No, we're not. Because one more thing I got to cover
Okay,
with
one
you.
more thing you got to cover, and then we
No,
got to end
besides this question,
it.
there's
Okay,
one
go
more thing I
ahead.
got to cover.
Okay.
Can you wear a crew neck or a V-neck shirt with a cardigan?
Man.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I would go with
I
a
don't think.
I would go with a crew neck. Because I mean a V on a V.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, V on a V kind of would like
But
that's- yeah.
can you do realistically? Can you do a V on a V?
No, I don't think it would look. I don't think it look right.
Yeah, it looks kind of.
Hold on.
You kind of look
Is
Steven
there-
Seagal-ish.
Is there any scenario where you could do
a V on a V?
Ooh,
Man,
can you? Because I don't see it.
I can't
I
see
really
it.
can't see it.
So if you're
I've never
wearing-
worn a
so
V on a V. Like,
So if you're wearing a V-neck sweater, it's recommended that you wear a
yeah, because
a regular shirt.
Yeah, because you get, like I said, you
crew
get
neck.
kind of into that like that douchey kind of look and stuff, and that just doesn't go together.
So there's no
I've never-
situation
I've
at
never
all.
seen a
Hold on. There's no situation at all where you could justify wearing a V with a V.
You know what? He's going to try to wear a V with a V. Isn't it?
I mean, if
No,
you're going
no,
out on the Houston
no.
club scene, yeah.
And there we go.
We go, yeah.
And there we go.
Then it's justified.
That
It's justified.
There you go. Now you wear a V and a V in the club.
Yeah, V on the V. You be
Now,
like, ooh,
now,
man.
off air, I told Mr. Taplin, because I know Jeffrey Taplin pretty good. I mean, I don't know everything about him, but
Yeah.
I know enough. He's a huge Cowboys fan.
Yes.
And I told him I was going to fuck with him about the Cowboys.
Cowboys all day, every day.
Cowboys suck.
Cowboys all day, every day.
They lost to the Rams.
Ah, yeah. We got robbed at the end. We got robbed. We got robbed. That pass interference was bullshit.
You know what? That's every Cowboys fan.
That pass interference was bullshit.
Okay, John, you're reaching that moment.
So, what are you thinking the Cowboys are going to do this year? I know you want them to go 15-1.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna happen.
Okay,
they probably They gotta go 8-8 again, or 9-8 is shit.
So, is 8-8 acceptable? Is it playoff?
In the East, in the East, it's acceptable and shit. Because look at our division. You look at the Giants. You look at the Eagles.
Hey, the Giants looked good the other night.
No, they did not the running game. That running game sucked.
Well, Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the part where I turn my microphone down.
Yeah.
Saquon sucked. The Giants.
Talking about season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm not fixing to talk no football.
Hey,
talking about season 6.
When Jeff
Drag Race
he said season 6.
when Jeff promoted.
See, I can discuss that too. I'm versatile. I'm versatile.
When Jeff sent the posting for him being on the show, one of the things he said, we're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about everything under the sun.
Yeah.
But John, you're going to make this a 5-hour show. Come on now.
Cowboys are under the sun, though.
You talk about the Cowboys, that's a 24/7. Yeah, because people are going to talk about man.
I just want to get his initial.
Okay.
So what do you?
We're
think
gonna go
about,
8-8 or 9-8, and we're gonna be in contention to win the division.
Are you gonna win? Are you gonna win the division?
Probably not, because we didn't win the shit last year. We couldn't even beat the Eagles when they were depleted last year to get in the playoffs.
And the Eagles look good this year.
Yeah,
even though they lost they lost to Washington. You know
that's an anomaly because
that's the sleeper team though.
Well,
Washington,
no, my thing is anytime the East plays the East, we play each other fucking so hard and shit because we don't want to be it's just the East going against the East.
So Washington may be the sleeper team.
I don't
Hey,
their defense is stout though.
Producer Joel from Washington. So
I need to go to a bar and discuss all of this because all I'm going to ask is, do you think Ginger Minge will win season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race?
I don't know.
He don't have no clue. He like what? Who?
Because RuPaul still hasn't picked a big girl.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, he hasn't.
Mr. Jeff,
she doesn't have a Hispanic girl and she doesn't have an Asian girl.
And they've been killing it.
And they've been killing it.
Mm-hmm. That's producer Joel's show. Like that's not mine. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. He was on that little gay talk show once.
It
was the most uncomfortable feeling for him.
I can imagine for him.
I was promoting my show.
Oh, you went out there to promote your show.
He went on my show to promote his show.
Hey, like, we don't want to hear this shit. Talk about RuPaul. We ain't talking about the other shit.
If it matters, I got the last 10 minutes. So let me do my close.
Okay, do your close.
Okay, so Mr. Taplin,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining the H-Town Spin.
Bless.
You,
John, keep him on your future guest list because you need to have him back on again.
Hold on. So in front of producer Joel,
yes,
you are always welcome to come on the show at any time.
I'm looking forward to it.
You can. You don't have to really promote anything.
Yeah.
You can come on and say, "Hey, I just want to talk some shit."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The shit out
I will. I will let you.
If he has an episode where y'all talk about nothing but the Dallas Cowboys,
I will give you. I will give you that platform. My eternal thanks for you agreeing to do my show, and I appreciate it. And thank you for working through all the technical difficulties and everything.
Oh, man.
I appreciate it. We will have this, producer Joel will have this up
Sometime
ASAP.
tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully tonight. It may not be 8 o'clock. It may be
It
after
might
9.
be 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
I videoed enough to promote the shit out of it. So
exactly.
yeah,
So
so
it'll be fun.
So
yeah,
we,
so I'm not
Make
worried.
sure you tell them it might be 7 o'clock in the morning when they have.
Yeah,
this.
no,
They
they yeah.
work on this.
So
I'm like,
I
y'all can
thank
listen
you.
on this in Houston traffic in the morning and shit.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
While
I
you stuck
thank
on 59.
I thank you for the time, for the insight, because I learned a lot from you. Just the way the fashion designer mentality works and stuff like that, and like what goes into your designs and stuff like that. Like, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you so much for agreeing.
I
to
think I can come back on here.
my show.
I think we got another 2 hours to talk about fashion. Shit.
Dude, we do.
Because I think
do.
we just scratched the barely, scratched the surface and
Dude,
shit.
We got about eight. We got about 10 more shows of
Because I want to hear more of your producers' questions and shit. Because I know he be
Absolutely.
asking some questions and shit. I'm like, oh, okay, oh, shit,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, because
So don't forget. I mean, I want to remind the audience we had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier, so we lost a portion of the show. So we had to redo the show for the last half.
But that's where editing comes in. So we're gonna edit.
So
and
yeah, we're gonna. Don't forget to. Mario was here as well. Don't forget to let the audience know.
yes, guys. Big thanks to my good friend Mario Almanza also for filling in, and like Mario is a trooper.
yeah,
Like, I mean, Mario, if I call him like a week ahead of time and say, hey, can you co-host for me? He's like, yeah, man, no problem. When you need. And, and I tell him, and he will arrange his affairs around the show.
yeah,
So he's literally one of my dearest assets. But producer Joel is too. Joel.
oh yeah, yeah.
There's been times when, like, an hour before the show, I'm like, hey, I need you to co-host. He's like, okay, cool. He doesn't give me any static or anything like
I
that.
give you
So,
static all the time.
but not,
We got into a huge fight last week.
but not about.
Last week we went out and got drunk.
No,
we got
2
into a
weeks
huge
ago.
Oh
2 weeks
Lord,
ago.
yeah.
2 weeks we went out and got super drunk.
You
Hold
involve
on,
alcohol,
hold
yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute.
And we
Hold
just
on,
got stupid
hold on.
drunk.
Hold on,
Just
correction.
acted a fool.
Correction. One person got drunk. It wasn't me.
One person.
Oh, okay.
He like, so you gonna blame me?
I
blame
drank,
me for getting
no,
drunk?
I drink wine. I'm a wino.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't
I'm
get
good.
drunk on wine?
No, I don't, because I drink wine every day. So no, my body, I'm immune.
You're immune to wine?
I am. I am.
Well,
I can
he's had some Western
literally.
Sun
I
tonight,
know
so
exactly.
he's
So I'm like,
feeling it right
if
now.
you
Literally,
combine Western
Jeff.
Sun and wine,
Jeff, when we go out tonight, I can drink a bottle of wine.
See, this is why I'm gonna
Like,
I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna watch some Netflix.
No, you're gonna work on this show.
I'm gonna watch some Netflix while this is downloaded. I'm gonna watch the third season of Dynasty.
oh, Dynasty, whoa.
Watch the third season
Hey,
of Dynasty.
Joan
'cause the men
Collins
on
was
there
a
are
bitch.
amazing.
Oh, John Collins was the shit.
No, Joan Collins was a sophisticated.
Yes. And the shit they used to wear on that show
No, and not
was like
not
fucking
bitching,
amazing.
Not bitch in a good way.
No.
Bitch, like just hardcore.
No, yeah.
I'm going to tell this quick story, then we're going to end this show.
Oh Lord, here we go.
John Floyd has been over my house when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
He'd come over to the house every now and then. And he would attest to this. Everybody in my house would run to the TV at 8 o'clock at night and be right in front of the TV to watch Dynasty.
Dynasty was shit, yeah.
Mom, Dad, all the kids.
So did y'all?
John Floyd would come over and he's like, "What y'all doing? We gonna watch Dynasty."
Do y'all know? Do y'all know that producer Joel was my first roommate when I moved out of my
Oh, we're not
apartment?
gonna talk about that.
He said we're not gonna talk about that.
Exactly.
So,
So with that being
with that
said,
being said, it's time to end it.
we are gonna bid farewell and adieu. And Jeff, thank you so much
Jeff, thank
for
you.
your
Peace,
time.
peace. It's been a pleasure.
I
It's been a
appreciate
pleasure.
your time. I appreciate your insight.
Yes, I'm down.
I might
Yes,
have to have you on my show. Can I steal him?
I'm
No,
down.
you can't.
Yeah,
No.
I'm down.
No,
I was thinking
my guests are reserved for my show.
You know,
Jeffrey,
they the fashion.
no.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No.
Yes, yes.
And
Jeffrey,
between me
you are
and the drag queen,
you
talking
are
about
kind
fashion,
to me.
You gonna have a good time.
Oh, I already know. I can imagine. I can imagine.
You gonna have a good time.
I can already imagine.
All kidding aside, we're all family. and
Oh,
stuff
I
like
already know that.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Definitely. No, it's been nothing but a pleasure being
It's
on the
been
show.
a pleasure. Chuck, can you
It's-
end it now?
Yes, guys. Just so you know, in the next week or two, I have a couple of really prominent females in Houston that I'm still working out the agreement with to come on the show, but I don't foresee that being a problem. So maybe next week I have one of my special guests as well on the show and stuff like that. So thank you, Producer Joel, for all your input. Once again, thank you to Mr. Jeffrey Taplin, owner and designer of Sophisticated Bitch King Dick, for making the time. And no, making the time and
Let me say King Dick.
Joel for making the time and for actually taking the time to break down the designer aspect of fashion and where we are as a culture. He's more than welcome any other time to come on and talk about anything that he would like to discuss. But with that, I'm going to bid farewell, and I do. And peace be with you, and take care of each other.